Okay, welcome everyone. Thanks for joining. This is Cozy Conversations. My name is Allison, and I'm here with Alondra Renee, and we're gonna be chatting about all sorts of things. So let's talk. How are
Let's
you?
talk. I'm good. I'm good.
So what's
Thank
going
you.
on? What's been happening? We've known each other now for 3, 4 months.
3, 4 months.
Yeah,
But it's been a good 3 months.
I'm
4 months.
amazing.
It's
Been
been an
great.
amazing. Um, the best 4 months I can think of. But yeah, my journey here because we're here in Dubai.
Mm-hmm.
Um, two North American women, black women
Mm-hmm.
particularly, here in Dubai, and we want to come in and basically just share some of the experiences because a lot of people that I know back in the States and different places in China um, want to know what has been what has been going on
Your
lately and
experience, yeah.
my experience with everything. So
I guess
um,
let's start with okay, so what was your reasoning for moving from China to Dubai?
well, let's even go back farther. Let's go from my reasoning from moving from America to China to Dubai, right? So I was in America, and a lot of people know me from being a makeup artist in film and television, and having opening a makeup salon. I leased a space in downtown Atlanta and had to close my salon because I was trying to do everything by myself and
Mm-hmm.
failed miserably. So a year after opening my salon um, and having to close it, I decided to leverage my degrees and do something different, like
Mm-hmm.
get outside of America and just try something different because I wanted to live abroad and I wanted to meet new people and experience different cultures. So I moved from America to China.
Which year was that?
That was in 2019.
No, okay.
Yeah.
So right before the pandemic.
Yeah, girl, right before the
Yeah.
pandemic. Oh, so I went to yeah, a lot has happened,
Yeah.
during the pandemic. I've lost a few relatives and that was hard, but I got to China in 2019 and I was in education there, taught and wanted to get back into my passion and my love, and I prayed about it.
Mm-hmm.
And a year before I left, or not even a year, it was mainly like 9 months before I left. I was like, God, if certain things don't happen, because I was growing financially, but I wasn't growing relationally.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it was friendship, whether it was dating, whether it was anything, I wasn't really growing relationally.
And that is quite typical of especially black expats
I
where we
know.
move away and there's not enough of us or there's not a lot of us to kind of form our own little community.
Yeah.
So that becomes really difficult. I've heard that a lot. Dubai is very different because there are a lot of Americans here, which is great.
Is it though? Cause I feel like the Americans are in Abu Dhabi.
Yes.
Not really
Yeah, it's
here.
not really in Dubai.
Because I've probably met like two other Americans. I mean, I know you are Canadian, we're North American, you know.
But even that's rare to find
I
another Canadian black person.
That's
Good
true.
luck.
That's true. That's true. But I love my people, and everywhere I go, I look for us. You know what I mean? So I love my people. I love other cultures, and I love other groups of people, and I love all people. I love people,
Anyway,
right?
yeah.
But being that America is the most diverse country in the world.
And China is one of the least diverse countries.
Yeah,
So
China
I
is one
cannot
of the least.
understand how difficult it would have been to be there as a black woman.
It was culture shock. It was definitely culture shock for many reasons. but I grew to love the lifestyle of China. The lifestyle was amazing. Um, as far as like, you know, making a living, and there's not much of a work-life balance, which I didn't mind because it was so much to see, so many sights to see, and so many new things to learn.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't really caught up in the work-life balance at that moment. I was fine with just working, making the money, and not really having a balance. Because I was, I would like to say being separated. So I was in a moment of growing my personal relationship with God, because I felt like it was just me and God, me and God, me and God, and I was really okay with it, until I started wanting to meet new people and really experience, people, and then it was just it was mainly like forced, because I only really saw the people that I worked with more than anybody else, So then work-life balance became an issue, because I was able to travel and do what I wanted to do when the time came, but as far as like having people there, some of my friends were in Shanghai, and I was in a city called Zhangjiagang, which is like an hour and a half bullet train ride from each other. So it was not like we gained relationships, based on just either being from America or being from, being black in a different country. And it wasn't
organic.
It wasn't organic, and it was like, it was nice to have the company, but you get to a point in life where you want the connection, the friendship, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was time to leave China, and then I moved to Dubai because there's a big demand on what I love doing, as a makeup artist, and I came here thinking it was going to go one way, and it completely went a different way, in the sense of I was back to me talking to God about making the move. Like, God, if I don't, meet my husband even, or if I don't gain, really good relationships within the next year, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm leaving China, So then I started looking for different places to live, and possibly open a business, because I'm like, okay, if I don't do it now, then when? So I wanted to go back into the artistry business, and so I came to Dubai to visit, and then when I landed, I was like, oh God, what is this? This is different.
Feels different.
It feels different. I actually feel needed, and I've never felt that from a place. And not in an arrogant way. It was just like, I just felt it was different, like I was supposed to be here.
Yeah.
And this was prior to meeting people. This was prior to, seeing the lifestyle of Dubai, and, this was prior to any of that. I didn't get caught up in that. And I actually spent the whole day at the beach, me and another person. I spent a day at the beach, and I was just crying. I just cried all day, because I was like, oh God, if this is meant for me to be here, I need you to make it easy, and I need you to make it go smoothly, and I need you to let me know that I need to be here, and explicitly, and you have something for me here, because I don't want to just be out of your wheel. I don't want to just be making a move and get caught up in the la 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 of Dubai. You know what I'm saying? Because it's here. It's here.
And it's easy to do that.
And it's easy to do. And the more people that come to Dubai, the more entities you have to watch out for.
Very true. Very true.
So I had to come with my eyes wide open, and my heart open as well. Ready to receive what there is for me to receive here. And
so just based on your first visit, you decided, okay, this is it.
Yeah.
And how soon after your first visit did you return, like, permanently to move here?
Well, that's a good question. So I came to visit in January. During Chinese year, 1 year in January, and then I planned on being here for 2 weeks. I extended my stay for 3 weeks.
Oh, wow.
And that was in January of 2023.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, this was last year.
Exactly a year.
Exactly a year ago.
Because today's Chinese New Year.
Oh, gong xi fa kai. Gong xi fa tai. So, yeah, I came to visit during Chinese New Year last year, and for 2 weeks, extended it to 3. I had an amazing time. Met some wonderful people, and then I went back to China the first week of February. I applied for the business visa in March.
Oh, wow. You moved quick, girl.
It was it was approved and done in April, because it took 21 days to process. April opened the business on the e-commerce side. Didn't really work the business until, because I was still under contract in China, and I still, had to finish out my contract there with teaching and everything, and that wasn't up until August. So from April to August, I had to make all of the moves necessary to move here, whether it was getting shipment done, whether it was making sure the business stuff. I had to come back and visit in April, actually, as a matter of fact, to get all of my
So you couldn't do
fingerprinting and medical. I had to get my full medical and everything done back in April. And by August, by the time I arrived, my Emirates ID was waiting on me, and
wow.
I rented my place and moved in September 5th.
I mean, you make it sound so seamless, and I know it isn't, right? You planned really well. You were
God did it,
right? But for
God
people watching, what advice would you give them in terms of if they wanted to move here and set up a business? Like, what steps or some of the things that you've learned along the way that you possibly wouldn't do if you had to do it again? Or,
thank you. That was good. Well, depending on what country you're moving from, as an American, depend on what country you're moving from, because the process would have been completely different. Me moving from America to Dubai versus moving from China to Dubai. So if you're out of your home country as an American, because I can only speak for us, then the process of shipping and all of that, and the business application was pretty much the same process though. I used a company, and it was a really good company. And
you found this company online?
Or I found it online.
Oh, okay.
I researched it myself.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. Okay. I researched it.
I think maybe we could potentially, if you're happy with the service that you received, maybe make some suggestions for viewers if they want to, if they're looking to move.
For sure. Yeah. We'll tag it. But yeah, I'll tag the company. Reason I would tag it is because there is something that I wish I would have known prior to coming, versus like getting the full business license and that kind of thing. I came with a bigger vision.
Yeah.
So half of it was my own doing. No, I am going to tag the company because it was a really good company, because at the time I didn't, there wasn't an option. There was an option that's currently available that wasn't available then. So I had this idea, okay? When I came, I had a vision of what I wanted to bring to Dubai, right? Because it's something that is yet, it's not here yet. It's in America, proven to be working. Some of my friends are doing it, and it's an amazing concept, but it's currently not here. So I had this vision of what I wanted to do, and it's a business that I wanted to open, makeup artistry and providing a service, and the e-commerce side was just an entrance, so to speak.
Got
Like
it.
it was
Yeah.
a point of entrance, but that wasn't the bigger picture. That was like the starting of the big picture, right? So I did that, but I had to open a full business because at the time the freelance visas were not available because they didn't become available until April of last year.
And now
And I think
it's a much simpler process. You don't have to open a full business license.
exactly where where you have employees and all of that kind of thing. I have the
proper full business.
Yes, I opened a proper full business with all of the licensing and all of the things that I had to do and pay for, and it was kind of expensive going the route that I went. Had the other way been available prior to me coming in, then I would have taken the freelance route because now Dubai has freelance visas available, and at that point when I applied, it wasn't yet. So, but this is the good thing about the freelance visas. It opens up opportunities for Americans, and I don't really think that they know where they can come and work, live, and play under the freelance visa, and they don't have to live here.
Yes,
but they can live here if they would like to, and work and play as well on that visa. So it's a smart thing, and it's a good thing. But had that been available for me, I would have taken that route.
Yeah, I think they started during COVID to open up different types of visas for people who don't want to permanently live here, but if they wanted to work here, that would also be an option. So there are tons of options out there now that probably weren't available when you were applying for your business visa. So, well, I mean, it's a learning curve, right? You just
yes, and I've made a couple of mistakes along the way,
which is natural.
Which is natural, but you know.
I mean, you did good, girl, considering you didn't really know many people to kind of guide you. You did it all on your own research. And I think that's the difference. Like, exactly why we're having this conversation is that you can educate people who want to or are thinking of doing something like that, but just don't know where to start. You know, you can be their friend. Because you didn't have someone to kind of guide you, and it's a huge undertaking when you think about it.
Well, I did use, even though I'm a long handle spoon girl. You know, I feel like everyone has a position and everyone is spatial, and I don't call everyone friend. But I did use some associates, like I did use resources. You know what I mean? I had to reach out and ask for like different apps and different things like that. And when I was opening my banking, which is a very important thing too, like to be able to transfer your money, you have to have a banking. If you're coming from a different country, you have to have things in place already that you wouldn't normally have to have in place. You can actually kind of come here and then get it done. You don't have to have it all taken care of. But if you are an American coming from a different country, you need to have it taken care of prior to leaving whatever country you're leaving. So that's another thing too. You have to make sure all of your banking, everything is in place. But I am a faith walker. And I've lived a lot of places alone, but I've had a lot of help along the way from people who I have considered friends and people who were not my friends, like have
there for
helped
a
me.
purpose.
Exactly, who have helped me along the way. So God has really planted people that have really been good to me in this whole walk. I moved to China alone, didn't know anyone. That was a big step. You know what I mean? And I got there, ended up loving it. It was just things that I wanted in life and desires of my heart that I knew I wasn't going to get while there. So it was just time. You know, you just,
yeah.
you feel that nudge, and once you feel it, it never lets up. It's like it gets heavier and heavier and heavier until it's time.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. So now that you're here, and it's been quite a few months, how are you
it's been
settling
6
in?
months now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are you settling in? What have been some of the challenges that you've faced?
You know, December. No. Oh no. I came in, and I had fun when I first got here. You know what I mean? It was fun, and then, you know, there were some people that I hung out with that I don't hang out with anymore, and just my desires within a short amount of time just changed.
Wow.
You know, it's like it's not about them changing, it's more so me. I became very unattracted to certain things, not understanding that it would happen to me. It's like when God wants to move you and qualify you for certain things, you instantly change according to what you are now going to be qualified for. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So it's like my desires changed. I started looking at things and like, I don't want to go out anymore. I don't feel like, you know, I mean, it's cute to go have fun. And I love to dance. Now, I dance. That's what I like to do. But I stopped being attracted to like certain things. And I didn't expect it to happen the way it did. Like it was like a turnoff. It wasn't like, oh, I'm just tired of it. It was just like, this is really boring to me now.
Yeah.
Like there's things I need to think about. I didn't come here for this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, excuse me.
And Dubai is one of those places where it's easy to get caught up in the party life.
Yeah.
Because there's so much of it. There's parties every single day of the week.
Every day of the week.
And people come here expecting that, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people come here, move here just to party. But you're right, because Mark and I have been here almost 10 years. And
Mark is her husband, you guys. Mark is her husband.
And yeah, initially, it was fun to always go out and have fun. But then after a while, it like you said, it gets tiring. It's just like, really? We're still doing this?
Yeah. I know. That's not the only thing that changed about it, though. It was, are the people I'm partying with the people I'm going to do life with?
It's a big one.
So it's not just about not wanting to, you know, do that. It was about every aspect of it. I needed to check myself within it. You know what I'm saying? And it was all about me. It was all about me. It's not about anybody else. It was all about me. You know what I mean? Because I came from, you know, China. After being, I wasn't there quite 5 years. I was there 4.5 years. But after being in China for 4.5 years, and it's just you and God, you grow in a way. You grow boundaries because you're separated. You're separated from the life you knew. You're separated from your family. You're separated from your friends that were back home and that know you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're separated from everything. And yes, it's a choice that you made. Like I made the choice. I made the choice to go. But isn't that what we are to do? Make the choice to go. You know what I mean? So I stepped out on faith. I did that, and it was like I was separated from everything. So when you separated from everything, your trust grows in a way that you can't even imagine. You know what I'm saying? So now it's just you and God, and it's like that's your whole life base. So everything you do, you asking God, you talking to God. You know, I had a major surgery in China during COVID. during COVID time, and it was just me and God.
Wow.
So it was like, I had to pull through with that. You know what I'm saying? And just and trust. So by the time I landed here, the boundaries were created. More and more boundaries were created. More and more standards, even. You know,
Yeah.
cause you know you just rise.
100%.
You know, the more you you know. And then I was just ready for something different. You know, so.
Yeah, that's good. That's
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah.
So, what would you say has been the biggest lesson since you've been here so far?
The biggest lessons. Oh God. Oh God, every day is a lesson. The biggest lessons. That's a good one. The biggest lesson. Make sure you stay prayed up, and make sure you stay respectful. You know what I mean? Because you know, people from America, North America, we have different rules and different policies and stuff like that. And you know, when you go to different countries, and I guess this is for everybody, when you go to different countries, you have to learn how to respect on their level.
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, different countries have different markets as far as like when you come here and you do business, it's different from what you're probably used to. So you have to learn that.
Yeah.
It's so much to learn. You know what I mean? It's so much to learn. It's so much to learn about the people you're now amongst. It's so much to learn about, you know, how do you connect to them? What do you need to do? It's just so much to learn everywhere you go. So I mean, every day is a lesson. Every day is a lesson. You gotta learn how to date. You gotta learn how to be amongst these people. You gotta learn how to do business with these people. You gotta learn. It's so, you know what I'm saying? It's so much, and it's so different. And having a global mindset is just different altogether, right? It's absolutely different. Everywhere you go, it's almost, you have to be a chameleon. You have to be a chameleon. You have to make adjustments. You're never going to be perfect in it. You know what I mean? You can come one way and leave a completely different way, and it's just, you know, every day is a lesson. I'm learning.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. You're learning. That means you're growing.
Yeah.
You gotta learn to grow. So
I know my dad used to say that.
Really?
My dad transitioned to his heavenly realm back in 2020.
Oh,
And
wow.
yeah, when I was in China.
Fairly recently.
Yeah, I've gained a lot of angels since I've left, actually, which is weighed on me. It has had a level of guilt, you know, a little level
because you
of
couldn't
guilt
go back. Right?
because I couldn't go back, and yeah.
I mean, we have to talk through COVID in China.
We do.
But that's for another day.
We do. Is it? I mean, we can talk about it a little bit.
COVID in China. I don't think anyone in North America understands how it went down. Like, we hear snippets, and we've seen a few things on the news, but yeah. You were at ground zero, so.
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard. We were locked down. So, and lockdown for China is like locked in your apartment, like locked in.
Like with the door.
Yeah, you're like, there's a sensor on your door to go out, especially if you're in quarantine. So sometimes they will put you in quarantine, like if you traveled and you may not have had COVID. Like every time I had to go in quarantine, I never had COVID.
Oh, wow.
Every time I've ever had to go in quarantine, I didn't have COVID. So, but I have had COVID before, but it just wasn't during those moments. So I was flying in from Hong Kong one time, and I did 7 days quarantine in Hong Kong. I take a flight from Hong Kong to China. They put me in quarantine just from taking the flight.
Wow.
For 10 more days.
That's 17 days of quarantine?
Yeah. Or was it 7 days? No, 7 days. I'm sorry.
Wow.
7 more days. So it's 14 days total. 7 days in Hong Kong, 7 days in Nanjing. And those were 2 completely different styles of quarantine. The one in Hong Kong, it was a luxurious hotel because I paid for it. I booked it because we had to book a quarantine hotel. And they were able to deliver food and wine or whatever you order. And it was just nice. I mean, I had a bath at night. Like, I wasn't sick or anything, so I was just basically enjoying my quarantine. Right. Enjoying my nice, lovely suite, right? Then I take a flight from Hong Kong to China. Literally, that's just what, like an hour, maybe not even an hour ride, flight. I land in China. There's a bus waiting to pick everyone who landed from off the plane to take us to this building.
Wow.
This facility. I still don't know what this facility is to this day. All white walls. So I have a thing about me. When I travel alone, it has to be 1 bed in the room. I cannot sleep I can't sleep in a double bed.
Me too, actually.
Really? Are you like that?
Yeah.
I have never ever met anybody else like that.
It happened to me once where they had no more beds in the bed, and I had to sleep in a room with 2 beds.
That freaks me out. It freaks me out.
What I did, I slept on one day, I slept on the other.
Yeah, well, I had to, like, normally it doesn't happen to me. Normally when I'm traveling, I'm able to book a king. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and I don't have any issues. Like, and I tell them when I'm booking, it has to be a king. Do not put me in a double bed. If you have to put it up, call me, let me know. I'll have to make different arrangements.
Yes.
Right? So that's how particular I am about sleeping in a room with a double bed. It does something to me. Anyway, so we land at this facility. They don't want me asking any questions. No one speaks English. Not a soul other than me. Not a soul that works there. There was this guy that was on the aircraft with me, and I don't know him. He speaks English. He was a Chinese guy that spoke English, a little. And so, I'm so ashamed to say this, but I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna tell the world. So, we get there, and the first night I didn't have the right food because I don't eat beef or pork. I got too many. See, this is the American things. We got too many things with us. So I don't eat beef or pork, right? But y'all need to know this, okay? I don't eat beef or pork. Girl, I needed food, right? I got in there, they had these like little bread packets and some noodles or something and water. They gave us that, water, right? So they would feed us three meals a day, I guess, breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever. I couldn't eat, so.
Why? What were they serving?
Everything is beef and pork in China.
Wow. I did not know that.
But check this out. Check this out, though. I acted up. When I tell you, I acted up so bad. Girl, I acted up. Okay, so there was this guy in another room, right? But I screamed all night.
Are you serious?
I screamed all night till 4 o'clock in the morning. I screamed. I said, you know what? They're gonna put me in it's gonna look like an insane asylum. I'm about to act it out.
Wow.
And scene. I'm about to act it out. So I screamed all night. I screamed because I didn't want anybody else going to bed. I really acted out the whole thing. And one of my friends was real concerned about me, but I kind of felt like I knew what I was doing, but I just couldn't stop. You ever been into something like that? Like, like I knew what I was doing, but I just didn't want to stop. I just didn't want to stop. So I acted up all night to the point where people were calling my room to get me to stop, be quiet. The guy on the intercom in the hallway, he was saying something in Chinese. And I'm sure he was yelling at me because it was very aggressive. But you know, it was over the intercom in the hallway. And I'm like, I don't speak Chinese. Yeah. I don't understand. So he can't be talking to me, right? I was like, something's gonna happen tonight. So
is this night one?
This is night one.
Damn.
This is night one. I called my boss. You know, the company I work for. I called everybody in the company. This was at night. This was like 11 o'clock at night. I'm ringing everybody's phone. Everybody I got a number to. Get me out of here.
Wow.
No one speaks English. This is real crazy. It's making me feel like real weird.
Yeah.
It had another bed in there. I had to open my suitcase. Girl, it had 2 beds on top of everything else.
Hold on. How do they have 2 beds when you're supposed to quarantine alone? Like, what was the second bed for?
I guess it was family. I guess it was like just in case there were family. I don't know. I was alone though, and I had to, and it was 2 beds, and one of the beds were not made.
Oh.
One of the beds were not made. It was an all white room, everything white. So I'm just like, nothing to look at. And I knew I was gonna be locked in there for 7 days. Like
7
locked
days.
in. Yes.
That is
7
crazy.
days. And so
you don't even get to go outside.
No. You know, locked in.
So
locked.
You're in
You cannot open.
confinement.
You're in solitary confinement.
Damn, that's worse than being in prison.
You're in solitary confinement. 7 days.
Wow.
I had a bathroom in my room, of course, but you know. Like, but it was not hotel style. It was horrible.
I can imagine.
So
actually, no, I can't imagine.
I no, cause you know the main thing I was thinking was I ain't even sick. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I ain't even sick. And then everybody got on hazmat, so everybody in full hazmat, like they spray when it's like you are the virus.
Wow.
Everyone was treated like they were the virus. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, I know that there's a level of protection, but you know what I'm saying? Like, where does this stop?
Yeah.
Where does this stop? So I had to lay my clothes out. You know, my clothes I was traveling with. I laid it out on the other bed so I wouldn't be so freaked out by that. But then they started calling. They started calling my boss and speaking to him about what I need. And then the next day, they kind of just loaded me up on stuff. And, you know, they kind of, and then I sat back and laughed because I was like, why did I have to do that? Why did I act like
but
that?
I mean, imagine, if you didn't do that, you'd have starved.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Because I don't eat beef or pork.
Damn.
I do not eat it.
That's like the closest to going to prison. Like actual prison.
Yeah. I can't do that.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is.
So that was that. Now that was a quarantine situation. That's not like, okay, so then we were locked in our apartments, like, you know, our housing, to the point sometimes where like the chains would be on the gates. So there was no lockdown like
China. I know, which is why I asked.
China locked us down.
That's
China locked us down.
Because I had a friend living in China at the time, and she was saying, for her to leave her home, it was during the period where it wasn't that stringent, so it was a little bit looser.
Yeah.
But for her to leave her home and go downstairs to the corner store, like literally like 5 steps away, she'd be scanned like 5-6 times.
Yeah. Yeah.
Scan as
Well,
soon
that
as you
was
get
the
out of your
lighter
house.
side of lockdown.
Yeah.
That was because this process lasted, it lasted months.
Yeah.
And then we went through lockdown twice because
Yeah.
we went through lockdown in 2020 and then we went through lockdown in 2020. What, one or two?
2021, I think. Yeah,
We experienced it was a 3 year. It was a 3 year
It took the
stint.
longest to get out of
It was a 3 year stint for
quarantine.
us. Because
Quarantine.
it was a 3 year stint for us because when they have those kinds of what is it called? Like the sickness, when they have those kinds of, it's a 3 year stint for China. That's what they believe. So I know that it was a 3 year stint for COVID.
Damn.
We went through in and out of lockdown for 3 years. There were people who left that could not get back. There were people who were paid well to stay in, and then there were people like me who had a boss that was just like, you can't go home, you may not have a job, but we ain't gonna pay you more either. So I had to make a decision, on what I decided to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it was weird. Everybody went through their thing.
I know, and after that, I just want to move. I don't care where I move to, but I was like, I would be done.
Mm-hmm.
I would be done.
Yeah.
So totally understandable.
Yeah. And then I wasn't growing relationally, so I was like, it's time to go. Let me go and see what's what on the other side.
Well, speaking of relations, dating.
Yeah.
Since you've been in Dubai, what's that been like?
I don't believe I know how to date, really, because I date with intentions only.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll date, but then I know it ain't gonna last long. So it doesn't get to a certain point. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like it just, it may be a text here and there, and then just never really get to a certain point. So, I mean.
Do you think that's unique to Dubai, or that's just been your experience?
I think it's unique to expats because people have ideas that they're gonna go back home. You know what I'm saying? Like they just come here and make money, or come different places and make money. Because even in China, I didn't really date. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't really date in China. I dated one person, and it didn't last long, and then I went just years without even like being attracted. Being attracted to anybody. I went years without even being attracted to anybody.
Yeah.
So it was. I don't know if it's me or them or it as a whole. I don't really know how to date, cause I consider myself to be a wife. I'm a wife with or without anybody.
Yeah.
I'm a wife. Like that's how I see myself.
Mm.
So have I made mistakes along the way? Yeah, I'm 45. I made a lot of them. I've been married before, divorced. You know what I'm saying? Have I been in love throughout the years? Yeah, I have. But it just didn't work out, and I know what I need, and I know what I want, and dating, when you're dating somebody, it's all about learning more about yourself. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? It's never really about them. I mean, you learn them and you want to learn them, but my thing is, I don't really want to learn nobody unless I know you're going to be in my life. And I know dating is a process. The idea of dating is like the process of learning someone. Mm-hmm. Oh, you're supposed to learn the person, and it's an opportunity to get to know them and that kind of thing. But I don't want to know that many people.
I know, it's like,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
so you feel like you're wasting your time.
Yeah, I don't want to know that many people. I just don't. Yeah. Like, I don't want to get to know all these things about a person and then not end up doing nothing with them.
Yeah.
Like, just let's not do that. Mm-hmm. Like, it's okay. And I've probably been single so long to where it's just like, it's cool. It's cool. Either way, because I only want what God has for me. Amen. That's it. Mm-hmm. I don't want anybody else's anything. I don't covet people's relationships. Mm-hmm. I don't idolize things or people. Yeah. So I don't want anything of somebody else's. I want what I've never had.
Mm.
You know what you know what I mean? I want a kind of love that I have never experienced yet. And I mean, I've seen aspects of it, but it wasn't mine, so it's still not. You know what I'm saying? It's still not the whole
Yeah.
of what it could be.
Got it.
So, you know, I just think that it's something that's very, it's mine. It's a very sacred and intimate thing for me.
Absolutely.
You know,
Yeah.
so the dating process is not that.
Yeah. What would you say is the worst thing about dating in Dubai, even in your limited capacity or experience?
The whole mindset of transient. You can see it on people. You see how they respond to people. You see how easy it is.
That's a really good way to put it. Because I've never, like, I've always thought that, but I've never summarized it in the way you have. And it is so true.
Yeah.
Everybody's just quick.
Yeah, it's a transient mindset.
Yeah, they don't really want.
And I mean, I get it. You know, I don't fault anybody, and I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying it's a different mindset from what I'm in. Because I feel like I can go anywhere in the world and meet my husband. I don't have to be in a certain place. So some people think, you know, what's next for me may be at my home. You know what I'm saying? Or some people just here for a moment. And some people, you know, born and raised here that want to date foreigners only. You know, it's just like everybody have their own idea of what they want and what they're ready for. And it just doesn't look like what I'm ready for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I think black women in particular have it very difficult here.
Oh, girl.
Yeah, because the black men here, unfortunately, are not serious.
Yeah.
And
if they are, okay, let's not put the weight on them so much.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? If they are serious, they're already there. Or they have somebody back home and then they just here to play. You know what I'm saying? Or you have some who are strictly here to play because they're all about getting money and they don't really know how to, you know, they don't know how to talk to women and really pour into a woman because they're so focused on making money to it's just like, you know, women come and go out of their lives. Or there's not many men who look in the direction of black women here. They want other. They want, you know, they want the fantasy of, you know.
Very true.
Yeah, they want the fantasy of other. You know, it's exotic. People, there's a lot of exotic people here. But, you know, this is my thing. We come from the most diverse country in the world, right? And although you are Canadian, I'm American. We both come from North America, which is a, you know, it's a continent. We're on the same, but we come from a continent where it's the most diverse in the world. I don't care how another country grows to be that. We are that.
Yeah.
Okay. We are that, and we have been that, and we were born into that. So, because it's nothing for me to have an Ethiopian family living next door to a Puerto Rican family, like on either side, and we grow up together and we become best friends and we see each other every day and our cultures just mesh. It's nothing for us. That's what we grew up in. So when we go to these different places, it's nothing to mesh with other cultures and other people.
That is true.
But what I find is sometimes other cultures have a hard time meshing with us.
100%. Yes.
Not understanding we come from, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just who we are. It's nothing for us to be, you know, in an environment with a whole bunch of different cultures. But for some reason, we don't always mesh outside of America with other cultures so much.
Well, I mean, I think it's more them than it would be us, because people always have this preconceived notion of what an American is, especially what a black American is, based on what they see on the news
and what they've heard.
Not really having a direct relationship or direct contact with an American. But once you meet an American or a Canadian for that matter, it's a different experience because, like you said, we are so used to multiculturalism.
Yeah, we're so used to diversity.
We
I consider diversity to be beautiful.
Absolutely.
Knowing who I am, like I am a African American woman. I am Black. I have, but you know, in America, there's no full bred anything. Pretty much, like we have all a percentage of something. You know what I mean? I have a percentage of Irish. You know, where the French settled. You know, I was born in New Orleans, so I have a percentage of.
Oh, you were? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I was born in New Orleans. I was born in Louisiana. Yeah, I was born in Louisiana. I only lived there like 3 years of my life, so I was raised in Georgia. So I'm a Georgia girl. I'm a peach. I'm a Georgia peach. Okay, so and my mom is in Georgia and everything, but you know, where was I? Where's my thought? Where was I? What was I saying?
We were talking about multiculturalism, and you were also speaking
about everybody being everything in America.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
But when you go to other places, which I find interesting, and it's kind of good, when you go to other places, you're just an American. You know?
Yeah, 100%.
You're not considered a Black American or white American. You're just American.
That is true.
But on the opposite side of that, people still look at your skin tone. And I get African more than anything. When people look at me, they say, "Oh, you're African. You're from. I think you're from South Africa." And I'm like, I have never been to Africa in my life.
The predominant group of Black people that are here. There are a lot more Africans than there are Black Americans, Black Canadians.
But this is the thing. On the opposite side of that, Black people from all over the world.
100%. We know that.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
we know that.
I can't pinpoint it, and I'm Black, and I can't pinpoint it because I'm like, you know, you have the Caribbeans, you have the Jamaican, you have.
Yeah, I'm originally Jamaican.
Yes.
Right? And I grew up in Canada, but I can't tell you how many times people have asked me, because I'll say that, I'll leave it that. I was like, I was born in Jamaica, I grew up in Canada. My husband is Canadian, and they'll always assume he's white. And I was like, do you know that there are other cultures in Canada, not just white people? So they also, I think the mindset is different. And it's funny because I find that us in North America know a lot more about other cultures than they know about us. Because at one point when I first moved here, someone said, "Oh, I didn't know they had Black people in Canada." I was like, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I was like, that doesn't even make any sense.
Yeah.
That's like saying you don't have Black people in India. There are.
Yeah.
It might not be a lot. Or Black people in China.
Right.
Right? Or Japan. You
or anywhere, yeah.
Anywhere.
We're everywhere. We're everywhere.
Exactly.
So.
But yeah, it's a different perspective.
It's a different perspective. Different perspective. But so yeah, so that is my entrance to Dubai. Those are the things that yeah. Well, and we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I don't have an end date. I didn't come with an end date. I don't know what is to come next. I went a few months without, posting or doing anything. So we'll see. And I'm open for what God has, what God is doing in this moment with you,
yes,
with us, with
absolutely,
yeah, with everything. And I'm
more
excited.
Great cozy conversations.
Yes, and what great cozy conversations. So many more.
Yes.
More to come.
Yes.
More to come. Thank you, Allison.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for joining Cozy Conversations with Alondra Renee and
Allison.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and join us for the next Cozy Conversation.